Welcome. I'm your host, Attorney Ethel Mitchell. Welcome to Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell. Welcome to all who are listening live throughout the world on Radio 1 Station 1450 AM, on our website, lawtalkwithethelmitchell.com, on WOLDCnews.com, and over the free TuneIn app. This program is brought to you by my law office, Wills and Trust, LLC, where I prepare wills, trust, power of attorneys, medical directives, and other estate documents. So if you or someone you know needs a will or help administering an estate, call me at 202-772-1988. That's 202-772-1988. And by my sponsor, Equity Resources. If you want to sell your home anywhere in the metropolitan area of Washington, D.C., Maryland, or Northern Virginia, call Equity Resources at 621-6632. That's 202-621-6632. Law is powerful, and this program is about the law. It can help you or it can hurt you. It impacts everything you do. What you don't know can really hurt you, and what you do know can empower you. So each week, Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell aims to empower you by bringing you professionals who know the law to enlighten and empower you. Some weeks, we are going to also hear from non-attorneys who have very powerful information to enlighten you and inform you. Today, we're going to talk about the press, the black press, and we have as our guest Miss Hazel Edney, who's one of the primary advocates of the black press. First, however, I must remind you, as always, that what you hear on this show is for information purposes only. No attorney-client relationship is established by anything that's said on the program. Each person's circumstances are different, and you must seek individual counsel for any situation for which you may need legal advice. So let's get started. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution provides as follows, and I quote, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances." That's the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. It is from this amendment that Americans get, number 1, freedom of religion, number 2, freedom of speech, number 3, freedom of the press, and number 4, the freedom to assemble and petition the government for redress of grievances. Today we're talking about freedom of the press and how it has shown up in history for black people. We have as our guest today Miss Hazel Edney, one of the most important persons in the black press today. But first, a little history. The black press began before the Civil War. In 1827, a group of prominent free African-American citizens from states along the eastern seaboard met in New York to discuss means to communicate their views on various social, political, and economic issues that confronted them and their respective communities. Because although black citizens used the church and social and fraternal organizations as a means of collective expression and dialogue, the usual channels of public media, particularly newspapers, were denied to them. Exasperating the problem was the fact that elements of the established press, as today, routinely denigrate African Americans in print, even to the extent of questioning both their integrity and the morality of the entire race. In 1827, these men decided to begin publication of the first newspaper produced by black Americans. It was called the Freedom's Journal. During the 186 years since the appearance of the Freedom Journal, the black press has given voice to the struggles of African Americans as they have sought to overcome the effects of enslavement and discrimination to attain social equality. Frederick Douglass, W.E.B. Du Bois, Ida B. Wells, Barnett, Langston Hughes, Romare Bearden, James Weldon Johnson, Mary McLeod Bethune, Daisy Bates, and others are well-known historical figures in the black press. Right now in Washington, D.C., at the museum, which is a museum dedicated to the press, and I encourage everyone listening to me in the DMV area or coming to visit to go to the museum. Right now, there is an exhibit on what's called ethnic news, and a lot of this information is found there. You can also look up, and I encourage everyone to go to the website of nnpa.org to find out not only the history of the black press, but the names of over 200 black newspapers that are currently published right now in the United States. In 1941, the National Negro Publishers Association was formed and was later renamed in 1956 the National Newspaper Publishers Association, or the NNPA. The NNPA now has a readership of over 15 million people, and you can find out more about them and the black press, as I said before, by going to nnpa.org. Our guest, Ms. Hazel Edney, was the Washington correspondent for the news service of the National Newspapers Publisher Association for 7 years, and also editor-in-chief. In 2013, she launched the Trice Edney Newswire Association, which has become a critical source of news stories regarding black people and a much-needed resource to anyone wanting news about our people. Ms. Edney is a graduate of Harvard University's John F. Kennedy School of Government, where she received her master's degree. She is a 25-year veteran of the black press. She has won numerous awards, and I am very, very proud and pleased to have her. She is the president of the Capitol Press Club. She was the first black woman inducted into the Virginia Communications Hall of Fame. She's had many exclusive interviews, including Bishop T.D. Jakes on his Potter's Touch TV show after he accompanied President George W. Bush to view the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. She interviewed then President-elect Barack Obama during his Whistle Stop train tour, Cicely Tyson in the funeral entourage of Rosa Parks. She has appeared for political and social commentary on the Tavis Smiley Show, BET, CNN, C-SPAN, The Al Sharpton Show, Reverend Jesse Jackson's program Keep Hope Alive, The Washington Journal, and Ronald Martin. Ms. Edney, thank you so much for being a guest on Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell, and I welcome you.
Thank you. It's great to be here this morning. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. I have heard so many wonderful stories about you and how dedicated you are. Jackie Jones is a good friend of mine, and she said to tell you hello. Yes,
hello,
indeed.
Jackie.
She's been telling me about you literally for years.
Yes, she's over there at Morgan State. Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
So tell me about the black press and the role that it plays in the black community, please, both in the past and now.
That's one of my favorite topics, actually. Having dedicated my career to the black press, and it's the bio that you read is a little bit dated, I guess, because it's now closing in on 30 years.
Oh,
and I think we said 25.
Yes, yes.
And actually, my Newswire was started in 2010. We're about to celebrate 5 years.
Oh my!
Now, the reason that I started in the black press and continued in the black press is because of its mantra. You just read that excellent history of the black press with the founding by Samuel Cornish and John B. Russwurm in 1827. That mantra that they created and established with the first newspaper was, we wish to plead our own cause. For too long have others spoken for us. The reason that I love that so much is because I've always been an advocate for people who are what the Bible would call the least of these, people who are the hurting, who are the left out, who probably have voices but don't know that they have a voice, and they need someone to push and speak for them. And that is what the black press has always done.
Okay, hold on just a moment, Miss Edney. We've got to go to break, and we'll be right back because we want to hear more from you. Thank you.
News updates on the web at WOLDCnews.com.
Hi, my name is Stanley, and I've been arrested for stealing shoes. I didn't really steal them, but I've been sent to Camp Green Lake anyway. The worst punishment a kid could get. And at Camp Green Lake, we dig holes. Lots of holes. I've only been here a short time, but I think the camp director is up to something. I'm Stanley Yelnats, and I'm covering more than dirt at Camp Green Lake. Explore new worlds. Read my story in the novel Holes by Louis Sacker. For other great book ideas, visit your local library or log on to literacy.gov. Brought to you by the Library of Congress and the Ad Council.
Owning and caring for a home comes with a lot of to-dos. Fix the AC, build a deck, remodel the kitchen. Whatever your home improvement need, Home Advisor can help you find a pro you can trust to get the job done right. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com for instant access to top-rated pros in your area, including electricians, handymen, remodelers, whatever type of home pro you need. Home Advisor is absolutely free to use. At Home Advisor, you don't have to search through customer reviews of the pros. Even use the cost guide to find out what hundreds of other home projects cost in your area. And because Home Advisor knows it's important to find a pro you can trust in your home, they conduct background checks on their service professionals. It's just one of the reasons more than 25 million homeowners have used Home Advisor. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com to find the right pro for your project. That's fixitfast.homeadvisor.com.
When I have an asthma attack, I feel scared. It's kind of like an elephant is on my chest. I feel like I'm choking. Sometimes my parents have to take me to the hospital.
You know how to react to their asthma attacks. Here's how to prevent them. Call 1-866-NO-ATTACKS. Visit www.noattacks.org or call your doctor, because even one attack is one too many.
I feel like a fish with no water.
Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or owe the IRS or state more than $10,000? If you don't take action now, your tax problem is going to get worse, much worse. Seizure of property, bank levies, wage garnishments, and potential criminal prosecution. And if you owe the IRS back payroll taxes, chances are you will be visited at your home or business by an IRS agent. Don't become paralyzed by fear. Take action now. Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield for help. Our team of experienced tax attorneys can get you protected, stop collections, and negotiate a permanent settlement with the IRS and state, potentially saving you thousands of dollars. At U.S. Tax Shield, our tax advisors will review your case for free, inform you of your rights, and give you a guaranteed quote. No games and no tricky upsells. That's why we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and thousands of satisfied clients. Put an end to your torment. Get protected. Get the shield. Call U.S. Tax Shield now at 800-656-9393. That's 800-656-9393. 800-656-9393.
Get face-to-face with the artists and celebrities you care about on theurbandaily.com, your source for the latest in entertainment news, interviews, and reviews. The Urban Daily's exclusive videos bring you face-to-face with the biggest names in music, movies, and TV. Our editors scour the web for the newest tracks and latest gossip. Theurbandaily.com gets you face-to-face with what's new, what's now, and what's next. Theurbandaily.com.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Mm-hmm.
They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now. 800-359-3360. 800-359-3360.
News Talk 1450 WOLAM, where information is power.
Welcome back. You are listening to Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell. I forgot to say, if you have any questions, please call us. My executive producer, Stacy Royster, is here. Give us a call at 1-800-450-7876 or tweet us at LawTalkEM to join the conversation. Miss Edney, you were telling us about the black press. Please talk to us about how important it is and why.
Well, I think we've recently seen the most important aspect of the black press actually just play out before our very eyes in Ferguson recently. You know, when that story broke, for us in the black press, it was like deja vu. It's always outrageous. It's always outlandish. But for us, it has been over and over and over and over again. Only recently have those kinds of outrageous police shootings and police beatings and misconduct come out in the national press, or what we call the white press, simply because of the advent of video and social media. But the black press, since 1827 and all through Ida B. Wells, come on now. I mean, the Red Record, she was documenting the lynchings, etc., throughout the South, the police killings, the police beatings. It has historically been documented in the black press. And so now the black press has continued to take the lead. We still have the lead on that particular issue because nobody can speak for us like us. Hence, we wish to plead our own cause, which is what I was talking about before we went to commercial break. And so, therefore, the black press in 2014 remains the same black press that was founded before the Civil War and in the midst of slavery. We continue to fight for the freedom of black people and for the rights of African American people, although now we have friends in the struggle.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good to know. Tell me about your organization. I see that you're called a news wire. What does that mean? Explain that to me and to my audience.
Well, I think the best way to describe my newswire is the way that somebody described it to me. They said, "Oh, you're like a Black Associated Press." I'm like, "Yeah,
yes,
that's how it goes."
Yes, okay.
But yes,
but now, what is the Associated Press? Because a lot of people really don't know.
Associated Press writes stories, and they put them on the internet since the advent of the internet, and people can actually purchase. They can purchase the stories, but not individually. The way that we work, as well as the Associated Press, is you have subscribers. People actually subscribe to my newswire or to my website. You can go on the website at trice.edneywire.com and actually see stories that you can read, of course, free of charge. That's our homepage. But to buy access, you have to log in and purchase access, and mostly for publishers. That's what the service is for. People who want to publish black newspapers in their magazines, in their newspapers, people who want to publish black news stories, rather, in their newspapers and magazines and their websites and publications can pay for that on an annual or monthly or 6-month basis. I specialize in black news. I have covered black people for the last 30 years, as I said earlier, and it has to do with just the need for black progress in this country. So anybody who wants news stories, news articles. I'm not the only writer. We have our columnists who are people like Reverend Jesse Jackson. We have Mark Morial and Julianne Malveaux. Dr. Ife Williams with the National Black Congress, National Congress of Black Women. Barbara Arnwine has written for us. She's one of our periodic columnists with the Lawyers Committee. I mean, we have some very, very powerful and influential people who write for us, Wilma Leon. We also have partners. We are able to pull from other black newspapers and black publications that partner with us and put those on our newswire, and so anybody is able to republish those news articles as well. So that's what we're about. We're about pushing the black press through black news stories and stories about us to continue to plead our own cause and to tell our own stories from our own perspective.
Excellent, excellent. Now, how can members of the public support the black press?
Well, that's a very complex and excellent question because there are a number of ways, but, when I think of the best way is for the members of the public, when they go into a particular grocery store or when they are supporting that grocery store or that doctor's office or whatever business that is, they need to ask the owner or the manager, do you advertise in your local black newspaper?
Excellent.
And they need to be aware of what that local black newspaper is. When you go to the newsstands, and I'm talking to the listening audience now, when you go to the newsstands in places like CVS and Walgreens and Safeway and Giant and all of those, major national organizations, retail organizations that are now getting free advertising through your show, through my voice, you need to ask them, why don't you have black newspapers here? Or do you advertise in black newspapers? That is the single best way that you can support the black press, other than, of course, buying the publications yourself, and many of them are actually free, but pushing those that you support to support the black press through advertising. The Nielsen and NNPA actually came out with a survey recently that says almost 70% of everybody who sees an ad in a black newspaper gets the impression that that ad is saying, we believe in black people, we stand by black people, and we desire to see black people progress. Excellent. When they see that ad in a black newspaper, they say, okay, that's a friend of mine, I'm going to go and I'm going to shop there, in other words.
Yes. I believe that's true. I definitely believe that's true. That's good advice, and I hope that people in the listening audience will take advantage of it. I would also like to recommend that black businesses because we have a lot of people, young and old, who are doing very well in their businesses, and I would encourage them to advertise in the black press, because that's also the way in which we keep it viable and make it stronger.
That's right. We can do our own advertising and supporting of each other.
Yes. And that would go for all kinds of media too, I would imagine. Radio
absolutely.
and so forth like that.
Absolutely.
Do you work with non-print media? I mean, like television, radio, online,
yes,
stuff
absolutely.
like that?
I do. We have worked with Radio 1. Actually, once we were doing advertising on Radio 1, we actually can create, my company is not just a newswire, it's a communications company, Trice Edney Communications, and once upon a time I did radio, lots of it, starting in high school, and so, we do voiceovers, anything that pertained to a black audience, and we do voiceovers for radio. We have subscribers that are our magazines and major website subscribers, Politic 365 and others, have subscribed to our newswire. And so it's not just about newspapers, it's not just about print. And it's anywhere black people need a voice, and black people's voices are welcome to plead our cause.
Very good, very good. You mentioned something just now about from high school, and I one of the questions that I want to ask you is, how does a young person looking for a career that's interested in this in news, what's your advice for them about getting into this field?
They would be well advised to quickly get an internship. How do you do that? First of all, you go on the website of some of the places that you might be interested in working, and you find those places by, for example, who do you like to watch on TV? If you like to watch Anderson Cooper, or if you like to watch Roland Martin or Don Lemon or whoever, then, you can look up that person on the website, find out their history also. You can reach out directly to those people or to that station and find out about what their internship internship programs are like. You can go to visit the station and ask if you could spend a day with a particular reporter or spend a day just watching what they do on set. Most of these agencies actually love young people. They love students. And once they see you around, eventually they will say, okay, why don't you apply for an internship? And once you get into that internship, do not just see you as just an intern. Don't look at yourself as just an intern. That's one thing that I never did do. So once I got into my first internship was at WTVR Channel 6, which is a CBS affiliate in Richmond, Virginia. I went in there and asked them. I said, look, can I do the voiceover for the weather? I knew they weren't going to let me go on camera, but they needed somebody to do the morning cut-ins. I'm like, I can do that. And they liked my voice, and sure enough, I ended up doing the voiceover for the weather cut-ins.
Wow.
I started off saying, I was a country girl, started off saying partly cloudy. They said, no, you've got to say partly cloudy.
That's a good one.
So,
okay.
Yeah, and so, and so you got to get in there and offer your gifts, offer your talents. I ended up co-hosting a talk show on that same station, yes, as an intern.
Very good.
And so interns should know that they are valuable. They have gifts. They have such tremendous talents. And those talents should be used if they are made available. But much of the time, interns and students will come in and then they'll say, oh, well, I'm just here to learn. And, well, you are there to learn, but there's got to be a balance. You're there to learn, but you're also there to give. And if people know what your talents are, they would be happy to use them, or at least allow you to practice them.
That's
and so I think that's the best example that I can give. Do what you are there to do. Do what you are asked to do. I made coffee when I wasn't doing the voiceovers. Make the coffee, yes. But by all means, offer your gifts as well.
That's great. That's great advice. And, of course, we all know Oprah's story. She started out, in a news organization.
How wonderful of a story.
Yeah.
And also never give up. If you feel rejected, as Oprah did when she left that news station and, thought that it was over for her life, if you feel rejected, just go on to the next place. Just continue to press.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's very good.
You got to believe in yourself.
Yes. We're going to take a break right now, and then we're going to come back and talk about some stories that you have been covering recently, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Thank you. We'll be right back.
1450 WOL, where information is...
News1.com is breaking news for Black America. News1.com tells the stories we care about, our community, our concerns, our world. Uncensored, unapologetic. News One is news from our perspective. One people, one voice. News1.com.
Is your well water staining your toilets, sinks, and clothes? Does your water smell and taste bad? End these problems with HydroCare's revolutionary well water system. Get clean, healthy, great-tasting water in every faucet. HydroCare removes high levels of iron, hydrogen sulfide, sediment, and many other contaminants that are distasteful and damaging your fixtures. Unlike other expensive, complex systems, HydroCare's multi-stage well water system costs only $849. Doesn't require any tanks, backwashing, or electricity. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Try now, pay later. HydroCare, the smart technology for all your water problems.
Go to cleanwater411.com. That's cleanwater411.com. You'll be amazed how fresh and clean well water can be. Cleanwater411.com.
The revolution in clean water is here. HydroCare.
Hey parents, do kids think you're out of touch because of the way you dress?
Yes.
Well, say hello to instant style with Fashion On. Just spray Fashion On whatever you're wearing and look cool in an instant. Turn orthopedic shoes into vintage high tops, pleated khakis into skinny jeans. Even clip-on ties become fly gold chains. Just spray, let it dry, and presto.
What about my fanny pack?
You mean your hip MP3 player?
Wow.
What about my bifocals? You mean your hot pink shutter shades? Hey, I can't see. But your kids can see you, and trust me, they see fashion.
Thanks, Fashion On.
Fashion On is not available in stores because it doesn't exist. But that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Because kids in foster care don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt Us Kids, and the Ad Council.
Owning and caring for a home comes with a lot of to-dos. Fix the AC, build a deck, remodel the kitchen. Whatever your home improvement needs, Home Advisor can help you find a pro you can trust to get the job done right. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com for instant access to top-rated pros in your area. And Home Advisor is absolutely free to use. You can read customer reviews of the pros, even use the cost guide to find out what hundreds of other home projects cost in your area. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com to find the right pro for your project.
In a moment, cancer changed our lives forever.
We were told nothing could be done to enjoy these final moments together.
But in that moment, when all seemed lost, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital gave us hope.
Because at this moment, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital is saving lives with pioneering research and care. We're changing the way the world treats childhood cancer by sharing our discoveries with doctors and scientists everywhere.
And we'll never have to pay St. Jude for anything, ever.
At this moment, she wants to be in her own bed.
I want to be back at school with my friends. I want to be outside playing.
Please take a moment and join St. Jude in finding cures and saving children. Visit stjude.org.
News Talk 1450 WOLAM, where information is power.
Welcome back. We are talking to Miss Hazel Edney, one of the most important people in the black press today. Miss Edney, I noticed Stacy showed me where you back in December broke a article about the lapses in the president's security.
Yes.
And now everybody is talking about it.
Jumping up and down about it. Yes, that was on my news wire. And I'm going to be honest with you, Ethel, I was horrified about publishing that story.
Mm-hmm.
And, some of my newspapers picked it up in Louisiana and Washington State, but none of the area Washington, D.C. newspapers, and some reporters even cautioned me, you better not go there. And it was because I had tested the security. And It was just amazing. Yes. What happened was, if I can tell the story really quickly, I was at the Congressional Black Caucus annual dinner last year, in September last year, 1 year ago. And there were these 3-inch letter openers. The man who just ran into the White House, they're making a big deal about his 3-inch knife. Well, his knife was collapsible. It was like a pocket knife. But these 3-inch letter openers were stainless steel with a razor tip. And and thousands of them were in the room because that was the gift that the Congressional Black Caucus members that they gave that night at the dinner where the president and first lady were there and he spoke. And afterward, they did the little rope dance that they do where they walk along the rope. Yes, the rope, and they shake hands with people. And the Secret Service, I was watching them. They were not watching. They were just sort of lax because this was a predominantly black audience. And you take for granted that, everything is all right. Everybody loves them.
No, you can't do that. Not
you
with the
can never
president.
do that. And so what I did was, after watching that happen, and a photographer got really upset about it and kind of nudged me on it, and I decided to find out how many places I could take that 3-inch letter opener to that was actually prohibited by law. And I took it into the U.S. Capitol. It was not even detected in my bag. I took it back into the White House, into the room with the president when he was giving out the Presidential Medals of Freedom. I took it into the Secret Service headquarters and showed it to them. They took pictures of it, and they were like, well, we can't, all we can do is watch. Sometimes the president just wants to do what he wants to do. But then I took it to the airport, and I put it in my bag and went through screening, and this young sister, this young black girl, I never forget the look on her face. She jerked her neck around, she looked at it, and she looked at the x-ray, and she said, something is in this bag. She said,
great.
it looks like a letter opener, but it could be also used as a dagger, and her supervisor said the same thing. So they took it and made me FedEx it to myself. And so that was the story. I ended up writing a story saying that airline pilots seem to get better security than the President of the United States.
That's awful.
Yes, and now, a year later, we have the advent of the Secret Service being embarrassed and the resignation of the director, etc.
Oh my God, that is terrible.
Yes, it is really horrible. And what I think is most horrible about it is the fact that people it's the culture of the Secret Service to tend to downplay everything, to pretend that they're not at fault for anything, to sort of just to kind of just go along with each other and to cover up for each other. Anybody, I could tell that the person at the Secret Service headquarters who was taking the picture of that letter opener in my hand, I could see his alarm. The fact that he asked to take pictures of it, I could see that he was going to take it back. And there probably were some reprimands behind the scene. But publicly, some of these things need to be known that our President of the United States is being protected and that these lapses have happened.
Oh my God, that's a terrible lapse. Wow. That's very disturbing.
Yeah, it is
that
quite
is very
disturbing.
Yeah.
It's amazing because a 3 inches of anything can penetrate. I did talk to doctors about this, and none would want to go on the record because we were talking about the President of the United States, but a 3-inch anything can penetrate the chest and the heart very quickly and kill.
Yeah. That's just poor protection.
Yes.
Very, very poor. And very poor discretion on the part of the CBC, too, to have something like that at that dinner.
Yeah, they changed it this year. And I had that
hope
conversation with them, and they, of course, did not want to comment, but they did change it this year, and they had to square something or other.
That's crazy. Anyway, that's very disturbing. What other issues are you featuring right now?
Yes,
what other
of course.
Issues, please?
Of course, we are following the situation with the police misconduct and the police shootings around the country. A few weeks ago, actually a few months ago, and for several stories I have written about the fact that we're all looking at Michael Brown case, and we love our hearts are with Ferguson, etc. But we didn't want to forget that the U.S. Department of Justice is also supposed to be ruling on whether George Zimmerman was going to be charged for the Trayvon Martin, profiling. And he had not, the Attorney General had not said anything about that. And so we continued to write about it. And you probably saw that this week the story came out, very it was a very muted story, but the story came out that there will be no charge against George Zimmerman. And so one of the things that we continue to do is to push and press for accountability in these situations. And now we're going to, just have to make sure that although Attorney General Holder is leaving, that ball does not get dropped on all of what the civil rights leaders have asked him to do. And it can't be hinged upon one man. We have to remember that.
Yes.
Nevertheless, I was at the press conference when you had black leaders, and this is one of the stories that I recently wrote. Black leaders Al Sharpton and Mark Morial and the new president of the NAACP, Mr. Brooks. They were all at a press conference, Melanie Campbell, all the black leaders, talking about what they wanted the Attorney General to do pertaining to police misconduct and these police shootings. They were there with Michael Brown's parents, and they were saying that they trust the Attorney General to do this, that, and they had all these things that they had asked him to do and will be asking him to do. And at the same moment it was announced that the Attorney General was leaving, we were looking at our phones, at our text messages, and this text message comes, the Attorney General has just announced that he will be resigning. The president's going to have a press conference or make the announcement in a few hours. And there they were talking about all they wanted the Attorney General to do. And so that story is very interesting because now the civil rights leaders are going to have to regroup. And I talked to Barbara Arnwine about this, and she talked about how they definitely have to go back to the table and now discuss a new strategy because they don't even know who the next Attorney General is going to be. Mm-hmm. And the sensitivity that person is going to have and the leadership that person is going to have on those legal and those justice issues that pertain specifically to African American people. What if the president decides that he wants to appoint a Latino? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody knows that Latino people are also sensitive to the rights of all people. Nevertheless, that person might be more sensitive to immigration issues than the issues of police profiling and these police killings. You just don't know. And so we want to really make sure that we push for leadership that pertain to us too. And on voting rights, et cetera, we've been covering all of those stories.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. And you know, I would also encourage us to institutionalize these various government offices with people that have our values.
Absolutely.
Everywhere in the United States, we need to hold up and really encourage and promote people that have our values and have our best interests at heart.
Absolutely. And when they have our interests at heart, they have America's interests at heart.
Yes. You know, I'm really pleased and proud to have you on because you are also, my audience should know, that you are the only African American owned newswire fully credentialed by the U.S. House and the Senate Press Galleries.
Thank you.
Yes,
that was it was hard to press in, but we went through and passed the application process, and I'm really, really excited. You know, what that means is not just a first, but it means that we can also credential other reporters as we grow.
Well, thank you so much. Is there, we have to go for a break, but is there anything else that you want to say very quickly?
Yes,
to my
I want
audience?
to say very quickly that the Capitol Press Club, which is the press club for black media, is going to be celebrating the 70th anniversary on December 4th. If you want an invitation, then write to me at president@capitolpressclub.org.
Okay. Thank you very much. We will definitely be doing that.
Thank you.
And please, thank you so much for coming, and keep doing what you're doing. Please.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much.
$14.50 WOL, where information is...
All you ladies and gents out there enjoying the smooth sounds of the interwebs radio, Geico's got a special dedication to make. This one goes out to the inventors of the mouse. Because of you and your rodent-inspired design, people can click on over to Geico.com to pay their bills, manage their claims, and live lives of pure savings. Mouse Masters, you've clicked your way into our hearts for good. Enjoy this next song. It's going out to you. Geico, 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
It's Vandemonium. Monopoly at McDonald's is back with millions of prizes.
I'm bringing home the $5,000 Target gift card, you heard? I can use it at Target stores in the U.S. and Target.com. There's only one Big Mac burger and one Filet-O-Fish sandwich out there with a $100,000 free parking game piece, and this player is going to find one of them. Let's play this game.
There you have it, folks. You don't have to buy anything, but you have to play by October 27th or while supplies last. And you gotta be at least 13 years old to play online.
See rules of participating McDonald's and play at mcd.com for details. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro.
If your child is choking, stand behind them and wrap your arms around their waist. Place the thumb side of your fist against their upper abdomen. Put your other hand over the fist. Now press the fist into your child's abdomen with a quick inward and upward thrust. Repeat quick thrusts until object and airway.
You know how to help your child if they're choking, but do you know how to help them if they have a drug problem? Visit drugfree.org for information, help, and advice.
A message from the partnership at drugfree.org and Prevention First.
Life insurance companies are praying you don't learn about the little-known but painfully obvious secret of how to win the game of life insurance so that you win and the insurance companies lose money on your policy. I'll share the secret with you even if you don't buy your policy from me. I'm Byron Udell of AccuQuote, and since 1986, we've helped millions of people save a fortune on their life insurance. Call AccuQuote today at 800-500-3353 and ask about the secret. That's 800-500-3353.
Get face-to-face with the artists and celebrities you care about on theurbandaily.com, your source for the latest in entertainment news, interviews, and reviews. The Urban Daily's exclusive videos bring you face-to-face with the biggest names in music, movies, and TV. Our editors scour the web for the newest tracks and latest gossip. TheUrbanDaily.com gets you face-to-face with what's new, what's now, and what's next. TheUrbanDaily.com.
Owning and caring for a home comes with a lot of to-dos. Tune up the furnace, clean the gutters, remodel the kitchen. Whatever your home improvement need, Home Advisor can help you find a pro you can trust to get the job done right. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com for instant access to top-rated pros in your area, including electricians, handymen, plumbers, whatever type of home pro you need. And Home Advisor's absolutely free to use. At Home Advisor, you don't have to search through a long list of pros. With just a few clicks, Home Advisor matches you with pros who provide the exact services you need. You can read customer reviews of the pros, even use the cost guide to find out what hundreds of other home projects cost in your area. And because Home Advisor knows it's important to find a pro you can trust in your home, they conduct background checks on their service professionals. It's just one of the reasons more than 25 million homeowners have used Home Advisor. Go to fixitfast.homeadvisor.com to find the right pro for your project. That's fixitfast.homeadvisor.com. The Ad Council.
News Talk 1450 WOLAM, where information is power.
Welcome back. You are listening to Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell. We have just been talking with veteran journalist and media entrepreneur Hazel Trice Edney. I wanted to give you her website where you can go and find out more about the various questions and issues and stories that they are constantly reporting on. And that's www.triceedneywire.com. That's Trice, which is her middle name, edneywire.com. So please do look her up and follow what she is talking about, because it's important. You can also reach her by phone at 202-291-9310. That's 202-291-9310. So I thank Ms. Edney for coming on the program. If anybody wants to know more about what's happening in Black America, that is an excellent site to follow. If you have a publication, media outlet of any kind, you can subscribe and get access to their stories. So I urge everyone to support the Black press. Also, on the nnpa.org website, they have a list of all 200 newspapers that I'm asking Stacy and my webmaster to post a link to. And what's so good about it is listed by state, and when you click on the name of the newspaper, you go directly to that newspaper's website. So if you live in California, for example, there are huge numbers of newspapers in Washington, D.C., in Texas, in Colorado. Of course, in the District of Columbia, we have the Afro-American Washington. We have District Chronicles and the Washington Informer. In Florida, there are numerous papers. In Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana has quite a few newspapers. The New Orleans Tribune, Louisiana Weekly. These are all historically black newspapers and historically black press that I want us to follow and support by giving them our ads, our readerships, and encouraging businesses to support. We're going to go on now to the good news section of the program. I was very pleased to see that in Ferguson, Missouri, voter registration has surged. More than 3,000 people have registered to vote in Ferguson, Missouri since the death of Michael Brown. There's been a surge in interest that may mean that city of 21,000 people is ready for a change. As we all know, the population is 2/3 African American, but 5 of its 6 city council members were white, as is its mayor and its chief of police. with more and more people registering to vote, we may be able to get people in who are much more sympathetic to our issues. And that's true all over the country. I was listening to the news yesterday, and there is an effort in the state of Georgia to get more and more African Americans to vote. It's my understanding there's over 87,000 black voters in the state of Georgia alone that, if they voted, could change the outcome of elections. And that is true all over the country. So anybody that's complaining about anything political, make sure they are voting. Go to the Our Vote hotline for the Lawyers Committee on Civil Rights. If you want, under law, if you want any information about what it is that you need to do to register to vote anywhere around the country, where you go to register, how you can register, how your church or your organization can get what's called a kit, which helps people to register to vote. Make sure that you all do that and you tell your friends about that. Again, that's 1-866-OUR-VOTE. 1-866-OUR-VOTE. I want everybody all over the country to do that. On the side of my office, I want everyone to also know that as I talk about wills and trust to you all the time, I am actually doing several presentations this month. In fact, this Wednesday, I think that's October the 7th? No, that's not. What is Wednesday coming? October the 8th. I will be giving a presentation for the American Association of Retired Persons, or AARP, at the People's Congregational Church on 13th Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. At 1:30. So if you are interested in learning about wills, trust, power of attorneys, what is important for you to have in place to have the peace of mind that you are covered legally, the kinds of documents that are important to have in place for yourself, for your loved ones, for your elderly relatives, for anybody, a friend, anybody, adult. You can come to the AARP meeting. I was told that it is open to the public at People's Congregational Church this coming Wednesday at 1:30, where I will be making a presentation. There will be another presentation in Owens Mills. I'll give you the details on that next week, but that's going to be on October 23rd, where I will also be speaking along with 3 other persons about a financial health checkup. And so at that particular presentation, you will hear and you will learn about retirement planning, about how to make sure that you are in good shape as far as retirement planning is concerned, long-term care, as well as the legal side of that. And I'll be giving you more information on that. That will be in Owens Mills. And on October 25th, I'll be speaking at the Greater Mount Nebo Baptist Church. They're having their law day on the 25th, where lawyers and judges come in and they speak to people about various subjects. I'll be speaking at 11, so I'll be going straight from there on the 25th to talk about wills, trust, and estate planning. So I hope to see some of you there. If you are interested in learning more about that subject or having me to work with you to get your affairs in order, please give me a call at 202-772-1988. 202-772-1988. That is the only type of law that I do, and I specialize in it, and I love doing it because each person is different. I take time with my clients to learn what their family situation is like, what their personal situations are like, what their wishes are, and I've been able to help fashion estate plans that really work for people. I've done a lot of things that have resulted in money going to churches, to Howard University, to other universities, so I can help you if you have a charitable intention. If you'd like to benefit, whether it's in a large scale or small scale, whatever it is, everything helps, you know. So please give me a call. I'm very, very, very interested and committed to helping people create their own legacies and have the peace of mind that knows that you are protected. If, God forbid, you have a car accident, you become incompetent, you have a stroke, you have a heart attack, to know that you've put in place the persons that you know and trust to manage your money, the persons that's going to take you to the doctor if need be, the persons that are going to manage your estate after your death, because none of us have been able to take it with us. So you might as well make sure that the ones that you love are taken care of. So give me a call at 202-772-1988. If you have questions or comments that we didn't get to today, you can tweet us at LawTalkEM. Go to Facebook, Law Talk with Ethel Mitchell, and like us there. Let us know if you want to receive our weekly mail blast that says what we're going to have each week, who's going to be our guest, and we'll be glad to add you to, we use MailChimp for that, and we'll be glad to add you to our email list there, so that we can truly keep you informed of what's going on in the law and help protect you and protect your loved ones. Again, I'm signing off. This is Attorney Ethel Mitchell at Wills and Trust LLC, 202-772-1988, and I wish you a very good week.